Hey there, welcome back to Flat Tire Farm. I think we're on our 10th Azure Standard order today. Now, if you didn't know, Mr. Reeve and I live on an off-grid Alaskan homestead, and this is going to have to be our last produce order from Azure Standard until the winter is over. Now, it takes 9 or 10 days for these orders to get up to me, and if I order it in the middle of winter, my produce is going to freeze. I'll still be able to order dry goods and frozen goods, but I'm not going to order produce because I don't want a box of mush. And when I do Azure Standard videos, I always show you the things that I made and processed and preserved from previous orders, and then I show you the new stuff. All right, now for the updates. So, on our very first or second Azure Standard order, I ordered a case of organic apples, and we made a whole bunch of stuff out of them and ate them till the cows came home. And on our last video, there was just a little bit of remnants left, and so I started some apple cider vinegar. And look, huzzah! Look how pretty it is. And even the pH came out right, which shocked me. I thought for sure it'd be really weak, but no, it came out perfect. So there's that. Also, on our first or second order, I think it was our first one, we ordered some organic pears, and Mr. Reeve was sure they were going to grow, and lo and behold, they did. And so they are in our garden now, trying to overwinter, and hopefully that will pan out, although I'm sure it's not going to, because fruit trees don't really overwinter here unless you have some crazy rootstock from usually Siberia, actually. In real life, that's true. Okay, other things that we've made since our last video. I canned some frozen corn from the organic frozen corn that I got. I just made some carrot ginger soup out of 25-pound bag of organic carrots and a case of organic ginger that I had. It's actually been sitting downstairs in the basement at about 60 degrees for 2 months. I want to show you what this ginger looks like after 2 months of sitting in the box, because I was very sure it was going to be a shriveled disaster. Look at this beautiful ginger. And it has been so happy that it has actually started sprouting little sprouts, I guess. So I think we're going to plant it in the dirt and leave it in the house and see if it might start to grow. Now, ginger grows really slow, which I'm hoping is going to be a benefit because in the wintertime, there's not a lot of light here, and most things can't even grow in the windowsill. They'll just die. There's so little light. So I'm hoping the fact that this grows slow, maybe it doesn't need very much light. I don't know. I guess we'll stick it in the ground and find out. All right, some less exciting things that we did. We canned up some carrots. That's not that exciting. We juiced lemons and canned the lemon juice. That's not too exciting, but I did want to show you. We put this little flip lid on this jar, and now when Mr. Reeve wants to put lemon juice in his water before he goes to work, he just dumps a little bit in there, and this lives in the fridge. That's worked out pretty handy. And some very exciting things that we made. We made some corn and black bean salsa out of the corn and red peppers that we got. That is awesome. There is actually only this and 2 more half-pint jars left, so I need to make up some more of that. We also made some marinated roasted red peppers and canned them. This is so awesome, just in case you wondered. That's really good. We made some plain old regular pickled peppers so that we could be Peter Piper. That was important for me. And there's one thing that I want to talk to you about, and then we'll get to our things that we purchased this time. This is salt that I put lemon zest in. Hence, I think this is my 3rd or 4th case of organic lemon, so don't tell anybody. But anyways, because I keep taking the zest and I mix it with this salt, and it makes such a great cooking salt. I use it every day. I mean, I used to use the pink Himalayan sea salt. I have I think a 2-gallon bucket of it somewhere that's just sitting there now. I'm sure someday I'll use it, but I haven't used it for so long. I just use this salt. And it is delicious and awesome. So what I've been doing is I buy this livestock salt. Okay, I did research on it. I actually did a video on comparing the Redmond's livestock salt and the Redmond's real salt. And I take it and I grind it down. You can stick it in your old coffee grinder. That's what I do. Or a Ninja or a Vitamix or whatever you have that can chop stuff up. And it just makes this beautiful fine salt. I'll bring it real close and you can see. All right, look at that. And there's little pieces of lemon in there. But it's really fine ground. Let's talk about the things that I got this time, and let's start with the salt. Now, before I had bought the fine salt because I figured that was going to be what was going to fit good in my salt shaker and was most comparable to actual table salt. But I just got the medium size this time because it's cheaper and I'm going to grind it down anyways. If you want to know the long version about why I buy this instead of the Redmond's real salt, you can watch the video. I'll link it at the end. It's interesting. But the short version is it is way, way cheaper. Way cheaper. Now, if I was to buy Redmond's real salt in a store in Alaska, the cheapest I can find, it's $18 for 16 ounces. Okay, that's a lot of money. That's, more than $1 an ounce. Or I could go to Amazon and for $23, I could get 26 ounces. So that's a little less than $1 an ounce, but still a whole lot of money per pound, right? Or I could buy this livestock salt. It's $21 to order it from Azure Standard. And because I live in Alaska, there's a lot of shipping. So for 50 pounds of the cost of freight and the $21 it cost me for the bag of salt, it was $38 because I pay freight per pound and that's 50 pounds. So it was a lot of freight. Okay, $38 for 50 pounds. So for that same $38, I could buy 50 pounds of this livestock salt, or I could buy 2 pounds at a grocery store in Alaska, or I could buy 2 pounds on Amazon. So for me, it was a no-brainer. Now you might say, Crystal, that's livestock salt. Why have you not grown horns yet? If you want to see the little bit of research that I did and how I justified it, you can watch that video that comes up at the end. Okay, enough about salt, but it brings me to my next point. One of the main reasons that I buy things from Azure Standard versus going to a box store in Alaska is that I can get sometimes organic produce cheaper than I can buy even the non-organic kind here in Alaska. Because you might not know this, but citrus doesn't grow in Alaska. So it costs a lot of money to ship it up here. That increases even the cost of items in the store. So I got this case of organic lemons from Azure Standard with the cost of the food plus the freight and the shipping, and it worked out to be about $2.34 a pound. Okay, maybe that's a lot for you, but for me in Alaska, if I was to buy organic lemons at a grocery store, it's $3.31 a pound, the best deal I can find. Okay, well, I'm paying $2.34. Okay, so I saved $1 a pound. That's not bad. Okay, Crystal, if you're so cheap, why don't you just buy the non-organic lemons at the store and save yourself some money? You know what? That's a real good point, except the non-organic lemons are $2.47 a pound, best price I can find in Alaska. And the organic kind is $2.34. So I am buying a higher quality product and saving money. Sounds like a good deal to me. Okay, I know I'm yammering a lot. I'm sorry. Okay, other things we got a case of organic oranges. We really love these kettle chips, and so we have ordered 2 cases of those kettle chips this time. I ordered a 5-pound bucket of Parmesan cheese, which we use for making Alfredo sauce or just about anything that needs cheese in it. We'll put it on pizza instead of using mozzarella because it's like pretty expensive around here. Okay, I think the last thing on our table today is going to be this 5-pound bag of cashew pieces. It'll probably just end up being snacks for Mr. Reeve. If I ever get around to making biscotti, which I've been talking about making for 4 months now, they will go in there. But alas, for right now, it's just going to be a snack for Mr. Reeve. That's another item that I saved a pretty good amount of money on. Buying this bag of cashews in this bulk, I think I paid $3.80 a pound, including the price of freight and shipping and all of that. And at the grocery store, I'm going to pay $7.15 a pound for, like the Walmart Great Value off-brand kind that's in a jar, kind of like the Planters kind, but even the generic kind. So that's almost half the price to order it this way than to go to the store and get it. So I'm pretty happy about that. Hope I didn't bore you to tears with my yammering on and on and on. If you don't know me already, I always have a lot to say. Sorry about that. It's just the way God made me. In the description below, I'm going to put the prices for all of these things, as well as what I paid for freight and shipping. Now, I live in Alaska, so freight and shipping, as you can imagine, is probably a little bit higher maybe than where you live. Maybe you live next to Azure Standard Warehouse. I don't know. As always, thanks for joining us on Flat Tire Farm. Don't forget to check out the other videos. They're probably on the screen right now.